talk together or talk to the camera?
We can just do,
Yeah.
that's how we feel.
Cool.
Go along with it.
Good.
Alright, so hello everyone, I'm joined today by Manny Sarkis. He is the managing partner and COO of the Sarkis team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. They are the #1 team in Boston, #5 team nationwide for the firm, with $338 million closed under agreement in 2022, and $500 million in sales since 2018. I think the results speak for themselves. I appreciate you doing this, Manny.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for your time. I just have a few questions for you regarding my project, and I'm going to start off with the first question being, how important have teamwork and communication been to your success?
Very important. My brother and I formed the Sarkis team 6 years ago, and we've grown from doing $30 million a year to $150 million a year to over $300 million last year to having another great year in 2023, but you can't do it alone. You need to do it with a team. And we've built a team. We started with just a few agents, and we're up to about 15 agents on the team now. We have a management team, and they've all been a major part of our success. And teamwork can be hard. It comes down to communication, comes down to trust, comes down to having difficult conversations, setting realistic goals. Not just everybody can set goals, but you need to make sure that your goals are measurable, and we hold each other accountable. At the end of every year, right now we're doing our planning for 2024. So we have our company planning. It starts with George and I at the top, but everyone on our team sets their own goals also for 2024, because we can only do so much as two people. We want everybody who works in this office, who works on this team, to make sure that they're getting better year after year. Because if they're not getting better, George and I are doing our job. Our success is a direct reflection on the success of our agents and watching them grow, not only from a career standpoint, but personally, also as individuals. So we make sure when they're setting up their goals for 2024, that their goals are realistic. We do our best to hold them accountable for their goals. And these are actually goals that can be measured at the end of the year. They say they want to do 3 network. If they want to network more, okay. So they will say they want to do, my goal is to do 3 networking events next year. Not just anybody can network, but how are they being measured on networking? They're being measured on networking by doing 3 events. They say they want to do $10 million and that's their sales goal for next year. So they break it down. They want to do 10 million over X amount of transactions. That way they know how many transactions they have to do on an average monthly basis.
I love that answer. But since we're expanding on that topic, I wanted to ask you, in what ways do you think, like especially in the real estate industry, it's a very competitive industry and you're in sales, like how does it differ as far as a teamwork environment as opposed to like a company?
For sure.
Like a regular company.
So we're starting to, as we've grown, we've had to make changes in regards to the way we operate. But it all starts with the brand of the team. And we recently brought in our creative marketing director, Tony DeTore. He's been with us for almost 2 years now. And we wanted to establish the true branding and what our brand pillars are at the Sarkis team. When people think of the Sarkis team, we're innovative, we're connected, we're relentless, we're caring, we're knowledgeable, we know the data. When we say we're connected, it's our network. We say we're innovative, we're always coming out with new marketing for our listings. We're relentless. we do what we need to do to find our buyers off-market listings, to get our sellers' listings sold, we think outside of the box. So when we put these brand pillars in, we sat in a room, my brother and I and Tony, and these brand pillars define our team. But you can't just pick your brand pillars, you actually have to put them into existence. So we scream them to our agents. And yes, we're operating, we started as a small team and we've grown and we're growing into a company, but we always go back to the foundation too. And you have to make changes. You have to change with the times. You have to pivot. Sometimes you can't do things the same way all the time and expect to grow, because the market changes, the economy changes, your clients change, and we've made sure our agents are changing also in the way we operate.
I love that answer. And honestly, having been in contact with Johnny and Alex, I can attest to that. It seems like you guys put in a lot of time, and not just resources, into your team, and it reflects on the way they operate.
Yeah, we have agents like Johnny, like Alex, like all of our agents. We have a program in place where our agent, there's an assisting agent on every one of George and I's deals. So they are working with us on XYZ listing. So they're seeing how we operate with our clients, with other agents in the field, with the lenders, with the attorneys. They're hearing the difficult conversations we're having. They are seeing the obstacles that present themselves in our day-to-day when we're working. And the reason why we put these agents on these deals with us is because that's how they're going to get better. Because the more experience they have, the more difficult conversations they hear us have. Because nobody wants to have difficult conversations, but it's real estate. You have to have difficult conversations. Not everything sells in a week, and your buyers don't find a house all the time. And we truly hope that they're putting what we tell, what they see us doing, they're putting it into practice, not only on the listings they're helping us with, but on their own listings. Because they all have their own sellers, and they all have their own buyers. And that's the most important thing, because we've experienced it. We've dealt with many different scenarios, and some of them have only dealt with maybe 10 scenarios, but they can see what we've dealt with and use it to their advantage.
I love that answer. I can tell you guys lead by example.
For sure.
But speaking on that, I want to even know even a little bit further. So, at what, like, how much time do you put into that? And it seems like you were allowing your agents to get a backstage view into the real action. And
it's more a front stage view. It's backstage, but it's also a front stage view because they're with us. They're some of our agents now, our sellers, our clients call them. They call the assisting agent. The goal is for them to call our agents. We want our clients to have confidence in our agents. But that doesn't mean anybody's getting passed off to anybody. That means they see the power of our team. One person, two people are better than one. A team of 20 is better than a team of one agent. You have many different resources. We help each other out as a team. We tell every agent to scream. It's not the Sarkis brothers. It's the Sarkis team because of everybody else downstairs. And we want them to continue to push themselves and get better.
Okay, so the thing is, I asked, it takes a lot of trust to be able to let these agents come in, get to see you guys in action, especially like all the knowledge and experience you guys amassed over the years. So I want to ask, how are you able to build that trust with your team?
They're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. You don't operate like me and I don't operate like you. George and I don't operate the same. Johnny and Alex don't operate the same. However, we all have similar goals. The goal of a listing is to sell the listing. The goal of working with a buyer is to find your buyer a property that fits their needs at the right price without them overpaying. We know what our goals are. Now, we put together systems, checklists, and processes of the way we would like our agents to do things. Now, not everybody's going to do them the same. To go from A to Z, not everybody's going to go in a straight line. You're going to go this way, you're going to go this way, you're going to go back a little bit, then you're going to go front. But as long as you know our agents are working towards that end goal and asking us when they need help, utilizing our management team for questions that they need answers, and honestly not just communicating. If they're not communicating, the lack of trust will be lost because you can't fake it. You can't. You have to know what you're doing. And come to us if you don't understand a scenario. That shows me that I can trust you because you want to do it the right way and you want to learn instead of establishing bad habits. And that's how the trust doesn't happen overnight. Trust is not easy. Trust is the hardest thing in business and on teams. But you can see trust evolves through successful experiences, but trust even evolves more sometimes through hardship and difficult times, because that's when you really see how everybody will work as a team, because things aren't always going to go right. And through growth, which we've grown fast, through growth, expansion, and success, you're going to have these scenarios which aren't easy, but that's where the trust is going to get built. Because some things aren't as big as they seem. You have to take a deep breath, make a list of what needs to get done, communicate as a team. That's where the trust starts and continues to get better.
Yeah, I love that. That's the thing is, like, I'm working on a team environment now in my major, and a lot of the things you've said make me wish that I had this interview with you earlier. I would have been able to apply that in my team. But,
it's true, but it's not. Things change every day.
Yeah.
Things change every day, and 5 things happened this morning. We had a team meeting this morning. We're going to call the agents, we're going to talk through it, and we're going to see who really, you really see when you're working as a team, you know who wants to be part of it and who's actually looking out for the interest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the trust continues to get built.
I'm sure over the years you've had scenarios where trust was broken. Are there any scenarios where you feel like that trust is repairable? And in the case that it is, like, how can you recover trust?
I wouldn't say trust. Broken trust that's a strong word.
All right.
It's very hard, if somebody if you don't trust someone and it's broken, it's very hard to go back. Because that means their intentions weren't the best intentions. If mistakes are made, that's fine. Because you turn difficult times, mistakes into learning experiences, and that's how you get better. That's how the trust gets built. So instead of saying somebody's trust is broken, it means that they just didn't act out in the best interest of the team because they had different intentions maybe, or they lied to you. That's those things right there, that's when trust gets broken. But if somebody makes some mistakes along the way, but turns the negatives into positives, turns it into positive learning experiences, that's where the trust, although it was a little little difficult in the beginning because you didn't know if they could get something done. It became stronger at the end because they went the extra mile, put in the extra effort to, like I said, turn the negative into a positive, better themselves from the experience, and it gives me more confidence to give them more opportunities.
But that makes sense. I feel like you made a distinction between trust and performance and trust and values.
For sure.
From that standpoint, yeah, you made it very clear to me. I have an understanding that you have a background in accounting, having a master's from UMass. So I'm assuming maybe you didn't always envision yourself in such an interactive environment, such as the real estate business. So based on that, like, what do you think are like things you wish you knew earlier about teamwork and communication?
Well, I did work. So I have an accounting background, and my brother has a marketing background. That's why we divide and conquer, I would say, and we work very well together. But yeah, I went to undergrad at UMass Amherst. I got my master's in accounting also, and I worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers out of college. I did an internship, and I worked at a big four accounting firm right out of college, and I was working in teams there too. I learned a lot. I'm very happy I worked there. It was a corporate environment. It was great, but it wasn't what I wanted to do long term. Now, working there compared to running a team in real estate, very different day to day. However, I would say it was every experience along the way helped get us to where we are here now.
Appreciate it. I'm going to go into my last question. I don't want to take too much of your time. What is one habit you would recommend to a new Master's in International Business graduate student to develop teamwork and communication?
Time management. Manage your time wisely. Communicate. Don't mind my language, but don't bullshit. Keep it real. Don't pretend you know things that you don't know. And I'm not saying don't go tell your clients you don't know everything, but put in the work to learn the material that you need to know. And if you don't know it, ask the questions that you need to know. So time management, communication, setting goals, continuing to get better by working towards the goals. Like I said, make sure those goals are measurable. And also the balance. Everybody gets work, which work is very important. But make sure you have balance too. When I say balance, doesn't mean every day at 5 o'clock you leave the office. No. Doesn't mean you don't work weekends, no. But find that happy medium where you're working, but you're not, pushing yourself to a place where, it's work, where you're not communicating with your friends anymore, at the sacrifice of your family anymore. That's fine to put in the extra time, but just know that balance is important. And the way you're going to get that balance, if you go back to the beginning, you manage your time wisely.
That's some amazing advice. I really appreciate you sharing all that information. Actually,
of course.
You've dropped plenty, and I'm going to have to rewatch this several times actually, just because I can tell how much you dropped in here, and some of it I picked up on here, some of it I have to
anytime you want to come by the office.
Amazing office.
Yeah, we're in the financial district. Stop by. You're a great friend of Johnny's, but anytime you want to come by, chat, any way we can help, we'd love to.
Thank you so much, Manny.
Of course, man, definitely.